Hey guys, it's Ken Scott back again with another episode of the Denied Entry to USA show that's for you and only you and no one else. So again, it's Ken Scott, Senior U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentryWaiverServices.com. And we resolve all USA border crossing issues. So a couple of things have been going on I want to let you guys know about. I don't know where to start. This is the second video of the subject. The first one, there was a mistake in it that I did not want to show. So I'm just going to redo it. Basically, what I went over in the first video is these discount waiver companies, you guys already know you got to be aware of. You got to watch out for them. Places like Batman's Pardons and Waivers and all that good stuff. And got a couple of reasons here why I said that. But you know what? This take of the video, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to start out with this video. This is from a seminar we attended. Let's see, and the ARO director was speaking. Let's see here. I'll make sure I got this timed right. I guess I'll start there. All right, so anyway, it's going to be on the laptop right here. And what I've got the good old this. That, and we're going to use these. So we put this by the mic. You guys can hear it. It's kind of a bit of a hillbilly way, but that's fine. The point is it gets the point across. I once said that the ARO director specifically stated, do not file for a waiver if you don't have to. But I searched here. For some reason, I cannot find it in here, so I want to let you guys know that. And the sweet, mellow fellow troll will just take that and run with it, which that's fine. He's always running from me anyway, so good practice for him. But anyway, I'm gonna play this clip, and you guys can hear the director, and then I'm gonna go over some other stuff, kind of reverse order from the last video. So here's the ARO director.
Really aren't about a lot of traffic these days. It's all NIEs and returning LPRs, which we're going to talk about today. And we would just really, as a stakeholder group, want to be as involved as we can be with testing, giving you feedback and all these programs. But we'll definitely have follow-up. Fadia, the latest with the Admissibility Office and the resumption of biometrics on the northern border. Anything you can share with us, our group is really interested in learning about, because we're hopeful, can't say when, but we're hopeful that the northern border will open up, and then of course the southern border as well.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Alexis, and thank you all.
And by the way, guys, I'm going to periodically talk through this, just so the dippers who / competitors who think they're going to download this and use this themselves in market, they're sadly mistaken, because they're going to hear my wonderful voice throughout the speech, so it'll be hard to edit out.
A brief overview and some updates since the spring conference. Just to get started, as you may already know, the Admissibility Review Office is the centralized adjudication component
we know that.
That adjudicates non-immigrant applications for temporary and permanent waivers of inadmissibility. With that said, I'd like to speak a little bit to the status of eSafe and the resumption of the biometric
I'll talk about that eSafe crap.
The public-facing portal for eSafe has and continues to accept Form I-182 and Form I-212 applications for processing by our office. Since March of 2020, the ARO temporarily suspended the mandatory capture for electronic applications.
And there's still problems with that thing.
Filed via eSafe.
As people are saying, it's a waste of money.
The applications without biometrics in eSafe remain in that suspended status until the northern border travel restrictions have been lifted.
Bunch of bullshit.
With that said, we are also aware that there are various field offices and ports of entry that are processing these waivers, and to include those for non-essential applicants. It's always been ARO's policy that if a waiver
Oh, here we go.
is
This is
received,
important.
whether it be in the electronic form or in the paper format, that we process it accordingly. Our
Exactly.
office
There
has
you
never
go,
closed,
guys. She just
not even
said
during the pandemic.
whether it's electronic or paper, they're still going to process them. A quick note on that. That e-safe crap is a bunch of bullshit, because the fact that there's really no purpose in it, because you're still going to the border. You're still going to the border with the documents that prepared. So it serves no benefit. And the guards some guards will lie and say that, oh, it's faster. That's a bunch of bullshit too. We just had someone who went through that program for 4 months, just got his decision, but it took 4 months to work in this case, and he did it electronically. We also had another girl who did the paper version, and she had trafficking. She got approved in about, I think it was 12, 13 days. So that's a bunch of bullshit with what they try to push this agenda. It's actually, I think, very unsafe.
It has been strictly up to the northern ports on what they accept as essential travel.
But you know what? Let me put that on pause for a second there. Because here's the thing. I'm going to show you guys something. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Now, guys, let's use a bit of common sense here. When is the last time that when is the last time that this right here got hacked? When I say this, I mean a piece of paper. When's the last time a hacker hacked onto your desk and hacked into a paper file you had on your desk and read it? Nothing to do with a computer. If this is sitting on your desk right now, when's the last time this got hacked? As far as I know, it's probably less than 0. Now, another thing, guys, if this is sitting on your desk, this is sitting on your desk right now. You guys can see it. If this is sitting on your desk, when's the last time this got hacked? If this is just sitting on the table right now, when's the last time this got hacked and stolen? When I say this, meaning cash money. Now, let me go forward here. Oh, I got everything here all spread out. Yeah. Oh, got a call coming in. You know what? Hey guys, this is a perfect example. Got a call coming in. How can I help you? How can I help you? That's fine. I got to do that again. But anyway, the point is, when is the last time this got hacked? Well, this got hacked last year, not mine. Hacked last year. So why are you going to put yourself in a potential situation while your personal data can be hacked from a database? It's common sense 101. So for us, we do the paper version. We will always do the paper version because, again, there's absolutely no benefit whatsoever for doing it that way, and it's unsafe. To us, it's just stupid. But I'm going to show you guys something. I just had a call from a potential client. I'm going to call them back, actually. Let's see. Never done this on the air. It's kind of cool. Hello? 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 Oh, another troll. Oh, another troll. Yeah, you know what? I think that's someone that watches the episodes because of what they said.
Welcome to the mental health hotline. If you are obsessive compulsive, press 1 repeatedly. If you are codependent,
Hello? How can I help you? Who? I'm not. Oh, sorry. No English. Habla español? ¿Sabes español? Sí. Yeah. That's too funny. Got a troll now. Anyway, guys. So let's talk about the e-safe thing and BS yada yada. Let me get back to this. This is what I deal with. Now, you guys saw a prime example, a competitor playing games. And I can't. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, here we go.
However, we would like to kind of defer any questions pertaining to which ports of entry are accepting these non-essential applicants, as well as what the schedule or the timeline looks like for when they will accept them prior to the restrictions being lifted. It is not ARO's, it's not our guidance that we provide to the ports of entry. It's up to those specific field offices and the individual ports of entry on what they dictate an essential versus a non-essential applicant looks like.
There you go. There you go, folks.
I will say that we've implemented a robust training plan to prepare for the reopening of the borders, and that we've worked on increasing and streamlining some of the adjudication efficiencies. Refresher training in eSafe has been provided to various ports of entries, and we've also improved cross-training within our office so that we can reprioritize some of our workloads and resources so that we can confront any potential backlogs, because those are, anticipated when the restrictions are lifted. Some of the good news is that during that process and that training, we are anticipating opening 8 additional, or I should say deploying 8 additional ports of entry within the Boston field office. Just to
That's kind of dry, guys. I'll admit it's dry.
And be able to offset some of the workload. So we're hoping to have
some of it I even fell asleep on. Nice woman, but
I think that's all we have as far as kind of the quick overview. So if there are any individual questions, I'll be happy to take those as well.
Great. Well, I'm sure we'll get some, but what I also want to say is thank you so much. You came on board right as COVID was hitting, and we didn't ever get a chance to meet in person, and you've been really open about doing it in this format, and we really look forward to future engagement. We have very robust members.
Okay. What she said was very dry. You guys already know what we said about the eSafe. It's waste of time, a bunch of BS. So there's really no need for me to beat a dead horse on that. Let me go to another clip where she's speaking. I think about right here.
Kate, a waiver application in conjunction when I'm
that's not her, obviously.
An essential travel request. I hope I'm paraphrasing the question correctly.
Okay, so, obviously the travel restrictions are still in place for non-essential travel. And it is up to the individual ports of entry and the particular field offices that they fall under on whether or not they will start processing those non-essential travelers. And as I mentioned, there are a few field offices who have kind of attempted to take on just a few to sort of alleviate any potential backlog when the borders do
You guys
reopen.
already know a lot of this
As
stuff.
far as the ARO is concerned, we will take on any application or any waiver application that is processed at a CBP designated port of entry, regardless of essential versus non-essential. So anything that is processed at a port of entry where biometrics are indeed captured, we will adjudicate that accordingly.
Okay, and on the note, since you said that the ARO never closed, the question comes up, are you adjudicating waiver applications that come from a U.S. Embassy or a U.S. consulate?
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
I could have told them
throughout
that.
the pandemic, we had continued to see a stream of those applications as well. And
that's
like I
true,
said,
guys, because we had a lot of them pending.
Adjudicated those accordingly.
We had a lot of them pending during the heart or the height of the pandemic. So the one troll says we had nothing pending, but we had lots of them pending. And she just verified the fact that they were still processing waiver applications during the height of the pandemic. So what the goof troll, mellow fellow, whatever he is, and the other trolls, what they say is a bunch of bullshit, because you heard it straight from the horse's mouth that they were still processing waivers during the height of the pandemic.
Obviously the volumes were not as high as they had been, and it was all kind of dependent on the individual posts who were processing, who were receiving those applications. But anything that landed in the ARO queue, we processed.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And I think the buzzword for this panel.
Okay. You guys heard it. I mean, they've been processing waivers ever since COVID started, pandemic, even when the borders closed. So large Cheetos out there, they were still processing them. So when I used to go to my online friends and say, we still have waivers pending. And again, the one sweet troll, I'll call him a sweetie, who kept saying, there's nothing pending, they're not processing waivers. You guys just heard it right there. So I may get him on the phone one day, the sweet troll, and say, hey, she just said.
Welcome to the mental health hotline. If you are obsessive compulsive, press 1 repeatedly. If you are codependent, ask someone to press 2 for you.
Hey guys.
If you have multiple persons.
Hi, can I help you? What the fuck happened? Hello. Hi, we just had a missed call from this number. No, sir, it's not. No problem. Guys, another troll. Yeah. These competitors go to any length just to cause BS. I'm just wondering, how did they know I was doing an episode today? I did tell a few people. I did put it online at another location, so I think they got it that way. Guys, that's three crank calls within an hour. What's mighty funny is they all happened during the time of this video. And I'll leave it at that. And I'm gonna go to the last section when she's speaking. I have to go to the 5.3 about here.
For Director Passong, is there a time set or a metric or when will CBP resume biometrics processing at the Canada-US port of entry for non-essential travels, not necessarily looking for admission? Or is that something that can be done, or it's not, it cannot?
I believe those go hand in hand. So it's not something that the ARO is able to dictate and when the travel restrictions will be lifted. And only then will it be kind of mainstream across all of the CBP designated ports of entry before we can start capturing biometrics again, is when those restrictions are lifted. I will though speak to another timeline that we can speak to, and it is the 45-day timeline to have those biometrics captured once you apply in the eSafe system. So if you applied prior to the pandemic, then those timelines are still in effect as far as when the restrictions are lifted, and say you had 10 days remaining on your 45-day clock. Once the restrictions are lifted, you'll still have those 10 days remaining. So everything is just kind of in a suspended status. But if you did not apply before the pandemic and you applied after March of 2020, then the clock never started. So you'll have that fresh 45 days to proceed with.
This may help some people, I guess.
I mentioned that because it is some of the questions that we are receiving from the field. Another one of those questions that we've been receiving quite frequently is regarding the RCMP.
This is important, guys.
Checks,
this is important.
And whether or not those are still valid with kind of the time period that the non-essential travel restrictions have been in place. And kind of the easy short answer to that is as long as they were submitted with the Form I-182 within a 15-month period, then they're still valid and we can proceed with the adjudication process.
And what is the time frame when someone has submitted the documents at an interview in a consulate before COVID, and they require the waivers, and
we deal with consulate stuff. Most of you guys won't.
Those applications
We deal with it.
presented at the consulate. Was there some, time to account for the pandemic closing?
So as I mentioned before, we never closed. So we were still receiving those waivers, both from the designated port of entries, as well as from the consular through ARIS from the consular adjudications or applications. And so we were still processing those. As far as the time frame and how long it has taken, we've seen all the time kind of lows as far as volume because of the travel restrictions. So those there's been absolutely no backlog, and we've been adjudicating those as they come in.
Okay, I got to stop it right there, guys. It's even us being in this business, this is just way too dry. I mean, those are maybe the highlights from the seminar. There's other speakers there, but you guys won't know who they are or care. So even I can't take that. That's enough for me. So, but in the other video, first one, I talked about some things that these competitors did. I only call them competitors. These discount waiver companies that hurt people. Apparently, they sent one girl to the border with deportation paperwork, and she was never deported. So she had the deportation paperwork and the paperwork for a waiver. The guard was nice enough to tell her she did not need the deportation one, and the waiver part was so poorly prepared. He gave it back to her and told her just come back, said just go back to your provider. She went there, and the argument ensued, and she left. So all is history. So now we're turning that around. Another case we had, another girl went to another one of these places, Batman's Pardons and Waivers, places like that. The case took an entire year to process, and he did nothing. Another woman went to the same provider. That case took 4 years, and still, as of today, nothing. So we've turned around, or in the process of turning around those three. Another Batman's Pardons and Waivers type place told a guy he needs to get a Canadian pardon to get a waiver. He needs a pardon and a waiver. Guys, let me be on record here that you do not need a Canadian pardon unless it's for one of three things: sports coaching, like softball leagues with the small kids, to get citizenship if you're PR or whatever like that, and to get employment if you need like to get bonded or something like that, or security clearance. Yeah, then you would. Beyond those three, guys, those three issues, you do not need a Canadian pardon. It's a waste of fucking money. And don't get me wrong, we're in the pardon business as well. But I tell people, unless it's for one of those three things, the sports coaching, the employment, or citizenship, you do not need a Canadian pardon. And I'm going to say it one more time. Unless it's for one of the three things of sports coaching, citizenship, or employment, like getting security license or whatever, you do not need a Canadian pardon, period. So when you go to Batman's Pardons and Waivers and all those other places, they have the name pardon in their name. And they start pushing these pardons on you. Guys, they're pushing on you so you can build their profits. If you don't mind paying Batman's bills so you can keep the lights on and keep the Batmobile running, I mean, that's fine. But once you lose that money, you get denied or you get a worthless waiver. I'm sorry, worthless pardon. You only got yourself to blame. We got people now who are doing their waivers and they got pardons. So they're getting their own court files because we don't even get involved with that. So you got a pardon, you call the court yourself, and you sort it out with them. It's a lot easier for everyone. It's fine. So, and then people have asked me, so what does this pardon do for me? I say, nothing. And they went, other places like Batman's Pardons and Expert Waivers, all that BS. And said, why did they push it? I said, because they wanted to make money off you. So, of course, obviously people are not happy after. Say, well, I don't know what else to tell them. And this one's about lawyers. This one lawyer who I know well, he told this girl when she goes to the border to be quote unquote honest and tell them everything. Well, she did. She told him about all the she does or have done in the past. So she talked herself into needing a waiver. And this topic's a bit tricky because of the regulations are very explicit on this. So for the moment, I'm not going to touch that. That's going to be a separate video. You guys got to know how to make a proper presentation at the border. Now, what we find in our case, the people with the serious criminality or the ex-traffickers or ex-money launderers or the guys who had the serious stuff, they don't have issues with this. So they understand how to make a presentation at the border when they're crossing. Like people like AC Khan, who did 10 years in prison in USA for select crimes, and he got his waiver. So if Khan can get a waiver, pretty much anyone can get a waiver. And also want to talk about this thing called expedited waiver, which is a bunch of bullshit. There's no such thing. So when these cheap companies tell you, oh, pay extra, you can get a waiver, that's a crock of BS. So anyway, so what I'm getting at is, to sum it all up, is I said in the other video that the waivers that get denied by people who go to these lawyers and Batman's Pardons and Experts Waivers and all that BS, that business is actually starting to overtake, or is almost close to overtaking our normal waiver cases. And we mostly deal with the complex waiver cases as it is. So Willie from Winterpeg, who stole a car at 19, now he's 40, those cases, I mean, we don't get as many of those in. They do call, we still take them. But we like the juicy cases, like the big stuff. And you guys can go to the homepage at www.usentry-waiver-services.com and see exactly what we focus on, specialize in. And finally, the last thing is I'll show you guys again. One of the reasons why we are so much better than everyone else and why we have a 98 to 99% success rate is because we often get a lot of material that comes in to help us out. This is the box of stuff came in today. And for the sweet, mellow fellow troll, this came to our corporate mailing center, as you see 182. Because according to the sweet, mellow fellow, there's no office, so. Anyway, this is the box that came in. 1. And 2. So I won't put the names of these books out here. So not to help competitors out. But what is this? We don't want this one. It's 1. It's book 2. So try to find something in here. Show you guys that this is the material that we use. We have lots of material anyway we use in general, but this is one of the more important ones. This one basically is, this topic is just on visitor visas and Canadians when they enter, what they can and cannot do. And you're allowed to come to the USA to, it says special research, being a member of a board of directors of a U.S. corporation, and it's a whole list of other stuff. But I'm purposely not going into details here because the fact that I'll be damned if I'm going to help competitors improve their service. But just to show you guys that it's the real deal, it's not BS. There. You see the US passport right there. So they're talking about, in this one, they're talking about the symbols on the passport and all that good stuff. Here's another one. They're talking about visa waiver program. There's nothing to do with you guys, probably. It just shows samples of different things. So anyway, the point is you guys get the point. And we get these deliveries in at least, if not once a week, every other week of the material as it comes out. They talk about dual intent when applying for a visa at a consulate. I won't bore you guys with what dual intent means. This one they're talking about, have you ever had a US visa stolen or lost? Say yes or no, that's fine, yeah, yada, yada. What is this? They're also talking about, okay, I can show you guys this. You guys probably can't see it. But here to ask you a series of questions like, has an immigrant petition ever been filed for you or for any other person in this application? Were you ever involved in any acts involving torture or genocide? Have you ever worked, volunteer, or otherwise served in any prison, jail, prison camp, detention facility, labor camp, or any other situation detaining persons? Have you ever been affiliated with the Nazi Party? Have you, violate terms? No, it's fine. Have you or any other person included in this application ever assisted or participated in selling, providing, or transporting weapons to any person who, to your knowledge, used them against another person? They ask you some pretty deep stuff. This is a special type of application. It involves border crossing, but I won't bore you guys. Now, for sure, won't give any help to the Batman Pardons Waivers and the other lawyers. Because some of those guys are just as dense as the pardon waiver companies. And I won't say any more about this because you guys got the message. You guys that know me well or know us well, you guys know we got the knowledge, the material, the skills, and the experience to resolve these border cases. And that's why we have the 98 to 99% success rate, where others don't. So to sum it up in a nutshell, you guys can go where you choose to go or whatever. But if you go other places, if you get ripped off or you get denied, or you just don't get satisfied with what you want, don't blame anyone else but yourself, because we put out a lot of free content on this channel, and some of you guys have used it to do your own your own waivers, which is fine, whatever. Some of you guys have came on board with us. We get more people that come on board actually that try to do it solo. So, all right, I probably gabbed enough. I don't have anything else here to show you guys that I wish to disclose anyway. We'll put out another video probably in the next couple of days. So we get video ideas by people who call in various things or clientele tell us. So that's why I made a list of items here. Pardon my atrocious handwriting. So, but anyway, so again, it's Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentryWaiverServices.com. And it's 1-888-908-3841 or 604-332-9213. Ken Scott with the Denied Entry to USA show. And in the words of my Vulcan colleague, live long and prosper.
I gotta tell you folks, wait till Hulk Hogan comes out here. The roof is gonna come off the Bell Center here in Montreal. As the anticipation builds, you can feel it. The legendary Hulk Hogan is a heartbeat away